France to join João Liba from India. We don't have seats for the Portuguese Polytechnics, but they are at home. So the guests, please. This is now around a short session of a conversation between Mediterranean institutions that work in the area that is covered by FRIMA. So basically, let's know each other and let's see what each institution is doing and what roads for cooperation and what research agenda we can design together. João Lima will introduce.
Thank you. We have one person missing. So we'll start. I'm sure we'll.
I think, yeah.
Okay. So just a brief introduction, an overview of this session and kind of the challenges that we have within the Mediterranean area, and also trying to build on our model, the national model that we're trying to implement of research and experimental network that we can extend to the Mediterranean to face some of the challenges that we have. So just to introduce INIAV, it's an opportunity to do this. INIAV is a state laboratory with I would say 3 pillars: applied research. Of course, we have to provide scientific and technical support also to the government, to the Ministry of Agriculture. We also have laboratory services. We are the national reference laboratory for animal health, plant health, and food safety. And we also are the National Institute responsible for the conservation of genetic resources. So just to give you an overview of what INIAV is. So we have some global challenges that have been mentioned here this morning. Challenges that we have to face at the national, at the regional level, but also at the global level. And those are issues related with food security, related with food safety, climate change, the issue of energy, the issue of preservation of natural resources, water and soil, and also this essential idea that was also mentioned of reducing food waste, which is a major problem. As was also mentioned, demographics is another major challenge. We have this growing global population just in the Mediterranean region, across this region, 500 million people by 2020, so it's a huge challenge. The issue of migrations also. So it's something we need to understand, we need to face this problem and try to engage it. Sorry? It's a changing world also. We've been looking at these few issues. Social mobility, more middle class, changing habits regarding food. We're also looking at urbanization, with more people moving into larger cities and the consequences regarding their diets. And also we have an aging population with more elderly people and the consequences that we have in terms of their diets, with more constraints in the requisitions that they have. The other aspect is climate change. We've dealt with this problem. Some of the worst scenarios have been overcome, particularly in Portugal. This is official data from our institute that some of the worst scenarios have been right now are totally overcome. And Portugal has been facing with these issues. And it's something we'll see in one of the presentations today, how important is the data generated in Portugal and how Portugal can truly be a living lab for some of the data that could be generated regarding climate change adaptation. That's one of the things we will discuss here today. The other point, and also in PRIMA priorities, are the issues of emerging diseases. We've been seeing this not only in the animal health, but also in plant health. We have a major problem across the globe, and of course climate change is also one of the causes. with the rise of temperatures, the rise of vectors, and the expanding regions where those vectors are. We know that most of those animal diseases can affect humans. 60% of human infection diseases are of animal origin, 75% of emerging diseases in humans have that same origin, and 80% of potential bioterrorism agents are of animal origin. So a major challenge. This is just to give you a view of a global plant health issue, a virus, and how it's spread across the globe. And of course, just another idea, because we're going to discuss the Mediterranean, in Europe, we've developed this European network of reference laboratories to tackle some of these issues. These are first-line laboratories prepared to respond to plant and animal threats and food safety, which INIAV is one of those laboratories. And I think today will also present one of the projects is in animal health, working with the Mediterranean countries, but also with other national reference laboratories across Europe to tackle a zoonotic disease. So one of the things we look at these challenges, and now how can we face them? How can we truly be effective? One of the things in our diagnostics, not only in Portugal, but across Europe and also across the Mediterranean area, and I was just recently, a month ago, in one of the PRIMA meetings in Lebanon, is this lack of interaction between public and private institutions, between R&D institutions and farmers, the private sectors, SMEs, and also farmer associations. So this lack of interaction, in a sense, reduces the ability to solve problems, practical problems. So in terms of our strategy for research and innovation, we focus on two major goals. Can we truly improve the competitiveness of the sector? And also by doing that, can we improve how those SMEs or larger companies function in a global market? And we know that those goals can be achieved by increased R&D, but also based on increased partnerships between private companies and research institutions. So we need to have a research focus that is focused on added value meaning what truly makes a difference to the territories, what truly makes a difference to the farmers. We need more applied research and innovation, and we need more involvement of SMEs. So in Portugal, we developed this concept, and it was already explained here today, that by engaging the Minister of Agriculture with the Minister of Science, we truly will be able to increase the knowledge transfer to farmers, to distribution, and to industry. In a sense, it's to develop this partnership using the structures that we have, a state laboratory, the universities, and the polytechnics, in order to reach to those private stakeholders. The model, this is the concept, but the model is the experimental station. Why the experimental stations? Because it's within those experimental stations that we can have education. If you think about the Mediterranean, if we have long-term continuous research being performed, we have more mobility between those countries. We can send and receive qualified human resources in order to exchange knowledge. Also, it's an extension unit. It's a way to approach the farmers, to be more local, more closer to the farmers, and also is a continuous structure to perform research and innovation activities. And this is the way we can truly improve and increase knowledge transfer. So in a sense, we need to look at this in a value chain. We look at to the experimental stations, and now in each of those stations, we can look at the entire value chain and truly have an opportunity to work from the farm to the fork, from agricultural practices, working with resources used, but also working at the other end of the chain, looking at new products. It becomes, with this model of experimental stations and applied research, we truly become and develop a source of innovation. And this is kind of the idea. Can we truly develop ecosystems for innovation? In the Mediterranean area, one of the things that was always highlighted by our partners in the south side is the lack of SMEs, the lack of small and medium-sized enterprises that can truly generate jobs, that can truly make the younger people stay in their countries in order because they have jobs, because they have opportunities. If we don't have a public partnership, public-private partnership, developed on public infrastructure in order to help small companies to scale up their activities, is almost impossible to create new SMEs and to create jobs. So the idea is if we focus on the consumer, if we focus on the client, and if we go from the market, from the end of the market going back, and we aim to solve practical problems by having qualified human resources, by having, of course, funding, and PRIMA is one of the opportunities for funding, but also by having research and development continues being implemented in those experimental stations, we truly will be able to solve common problems across the Mediterranean. But when you think about the consumer, we think about the issues that the consumer is concerned about. And the consumer, talk about the populations in these countries. And the consumer is, of course, we can divide this in security, in safety, and health. Those are the three major problems or three major concerns that the consumer has. But in order to tackle them, we need to go back to the idea of looking at the value chain, but not look at the value chain in the vertical or regional way, but have an integrated view of the value chain. This is the only way, like one of the goals of PRIMA that was highlighted by Professor Angelo Riccaboni, is to create opportunities from the agri-sector to develop innovation. This is the only way, if we have this approach, that we'll be able to truly create job opportunities in those countries. So just to finish, we understand the challenges that we have. We know that the goals are truly to create rural development, the sustainable agri-food sector, job creation, sustainability, innovation, health. Those are the goals. We know the challenges, I just mentioned them, and truly the way to do this is to have a research and innovation partnership between institutes, research institute, farmers association, the private sector, but this idea needs to be built upon this infrastructure of a Mediterranean network for research, and also this idea of the laboratories, a network of laboratories that already exists across the Mediterranean. By doing this, we are able to improve the opportunities for SMEs and also improve the opportunities for mobility within the Mediterranean area. So just to finish this first presentation, so we have to move on, and I will invite Stefan to move to the next presentation. Thank you.
Bom dia a todos. Agradeço ao Sr. Ministro para o convite. O meu português é demasiado limitado para fazer esta apresentação em português, talvez uma próxima vez, então falarei em inglês. Obrigado. So the subject is how to adapt with climate change in cereal production. So we had a good collaboration with INIAB on this theme. So I prepared this slide with Ana Sofia Znamaida. A few words to present Arvalis. At first, Arvalis is a applied research institute in France, the major applied research institute, because cereals is a major agricultural production in France, and it takes place in the applied research college. You see academic research with INRA, CNRS, well-known state agencies, and of course advice, agricultural advice, which is done by cooperatives chambre d'agriculture in French. I don't know the translation in English. And Arvalis is an institute all over the territory, and I'm responsible, the manager for the station here in southeast of France, in Provence, which is the region which faces the climatic change in France, because it's a Mediterranean region, like Portugal, in fact. So, what is the impact of climate change, and how can we measure it on the yield production, on the yield of wheat? If you watch the yellow dots, that's the yield of wheat production in southeast of France since the 60s. So look at the yellow dots. You see that since the 90s, the trend is the increasing trend has stopped, completely stopped. And now there is much variability between all the years. One good year is followed by the catastrophic one, like here in Portugal, I think so. And if you modelize the distribution of these dots in the period where the climate was favorable, and if you modelize the distribution with climatic factors, and these are the three factors that we use to modelize it, that's hydric stress during stem elongation, during the growth of the wheat, but also flood during winter period that can also occur, and échaudage, that's high temperatures during the feeding of the grain. When you modelize this distribution with that parameter, and when you keep these parameters at their level they had in the 80s, and you put these parameters for all the yellow dots, you see that the trend always increased. And that's a climate correction, in fact. If you make that correction for these dots, you have the normal trend and the normal increasing trend. That's the perfect illustration that the climate change has a great impact on the yield in southeast of France. So now the impact can be 1 ton hectare right now, and with more intervenant variability, I said that. So how to adapt? First of all, genetic research, of course, and have varieties which are more tolerant to this stress, and technical assistance for farmers to adjust fertilization or all the crop decision to this chaotic climate. And of course, irrigation when possible. So we created this wheat idiotic house project with INEA. We had also an agreement with the University of Bologna, Professor Roberto Tuberosa, for the access of his wide genetic panel on durum wheat. And shortly we have a collaboration now with INGC in Tunisia, l'Institut National des Grandes Cultures, to have even more stressed conditions than here in Portugal. So what is the methods we use to work for this program? We try to adapt all the methods to the scale of the investigation, from the microplot in the field to the farm, to the real farm. So, to make the variety selection, genotypic selection, we need a wide range of germplasm, and with the germplasm we will modelize climatic risks with the models we have for wheat in Arvalis, and we will phenotype, that is, we will note all the interesting traits which explain the yield with the climate effect in the fields, in the trials. And that's for selection, of course, but we do also we help also the farmers to manage their crop with the climate of the year, and we try to limit this factor, this climatic factor, to reduce yield gap between the potential of the soil and the real yield obtained in the year for the harvest. So one example of low intensity phenotyping, that's with this is a green seeker. It's used in CIMIT to catch the green index on the weight. So it's easy to use. And something not so easy to use is we design a robot, a scanning robot, to scan all the vegetation, because when you have more than 200 varieties in the same field, you can't do all the notation with only the human eye. So we designed a robot with INRA, in collaboration with INRA, which have spectrometers, cameras here, cameras, spectrometers, and LiDAR. It's a kind of laser which scan all the vegetation in the field trials. So, to conclude, I'd like to say it's a winner-winner partnership, or win-win partnership, if you prefer. Why? Because we have innovative methods, but we couldn't apply this method with all the variability, the genetic variability, and all the climate variability that we are facing in the future. So this wide genetic variability and this large scale of abiotic stress condition is offered in Portugal and in Tunisia, and tomorrow in Algeria, Italy, Spain, of course. The issue will be new varieties, or better use of the actual varieties for the farmers, and new crop management with adaptation of the climate of the year. And it's for the benefit of all farmers, French farmers, but also Portuguese or Tunisian farmers all around the Mediterranean Sea. This is the field trial in Greu we had in 2 years ago. So you're welcome in Greu if you want to visit our research station, of course. And muito obrigado para a atenção.
An explanation, we need to change the order of the presentation. Stefan has a plane to catch, so we follow immediately with a comment about Stefan presentation, and next the comments to the first presentation, and then we go back to the original schedule.
Eu sou lentejano, embora esteja a representar o Polytechnic Fo Rum, e ainda não imigrei, portanto o meu inglês não sei como vai sair. So I will try. Comments, surprise by surprise, comments now for this wonderful presentation. First comment, and in few words. First comment, recover soil. I think the most important problem we have is recover soil. So recover soil is the basis of all agriculture in the world, but mainly in the Mediterranean. And in the Mediterranean, because it's the oldest part of the world with agriculture, the soils are very poor and mainly with the climate conditions we have. So, for recover the soils, it must pay a very careful attention to the Mediterranean systems of agriculture. And Mediterranean systems of agriculture, they are the structural base in these systems are the crop rotation. Crop rotation, large crop rotation. And this comes to the second point, multifunctionality. And multifunctionality for crop protection. Because if we change species, it's better for breeding programs and to have resistance to diseases. And third, it's system approach. System approach is the vision of the agriculture approach as a system, not only breeding, not only crop protection, not only anything. So I'm talking about what I learned with these people from 2000, and I was director of the National Plant Breeding Station in 2000 when we sold hashish to France, and we started programs with hashish in France. So the system approach, the integration of knowledge, and on-farm research. And on-farm research is essential for not only for the research, but for transfer of technology. And that's the reason the liaison to the network of agrarian schools. Because we have 8 schools around the country, and that's the possibility for people who have the job for agrarian research to complement, cover all the continent, and complement and implement agrarian research program in transfer. So I think this is essential to understand what's our job, what's our role as agrarian schools to complement and help to implement this kind of research programs. So you talk about for the change, climatic change, genetic research, technical system, and irrigation. So all these things, I think, of course, what we always the importance of genetic breeding, breeding programs, the technical systems obvious, and technical systems means in farm research we can show the farmers, and with farmers as the very close to the farmers to understand and accompany the programs. And irrigation of course. Being Mediterranean, we are, our future is how to store water. So now, no one better than us know how can we afford water, how can we store water. And with the systems of agriculture, with dams, with everything, but I think the most important thing is the soil, because the storage of water in soil probably must be the most essential way. So it's my comments, and as an example, I can say that, for instance, the Secretary of Forest is now not here, but we have an example of an agro-silvo-pastoral system in all the countries. We have Mariagua, we have Montalvo, Spanish have Odessa, and this is how can we use the multifunctionality and the recover soils and prevention of fires and so on and so on. This is quite an example of multifunctionality and the importance of agrarian reserve applied and close to the farmers. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm going to comment about projects and partnerships around the Mediterranean Sea. And first of all of us, I think we can congratulate the organization chiefly for the presentation of the framework program and for the presentation of the network, public presentation of the network of the Polytechnic Institute. These are key factors nowadays for the new route that we really have to find for our R&D in the polytechnics and overall in the case of agriculture in the country. And these are key factors. Why? Because finally we decided that we have to create a network, and this network has to function. Till now, all of us at our agrarian schools, INEAB and other institutions of R&D in the agricultural sector, normally they work on R&D based on B2B meetings and not in a political, it was not created a network, internal network that can deal with the problems overall in the country, and that can create teams from several regions. So this is to congratulate. This is very important, but I would like to leave an alert for this. From the political point of view, the network is created. We need urgently to pass this word to the people working in these institutions, because R&D is not done without people. Your presentation was brilliant, and we urgently need to show people that works in our schools what is the purpose of the Rexia 2 network. Till now, most of the people don't know about this. And these people don't know, they want to even read what is the proposal of the Rexia 2. This is very important for us because from the point of view of the Ministry of Education, of Science, we are supposed, polytechnics are supposed to integrate students in research and in applied research, and our research must be transferred to the community, to the enterprise. This is a very difficult task, and this task needs to be how can I say, faced now, but we need people in our institutions to do the work. I come from an institution institution that has nowadays at the moment more than 20 projects, R&D projects, financed R&D projects, 8 of which are European projects. If I say to you that less than 30% of the people, teachers of my institution participate in financed projects, this is to think about. We need to involve the community, the whole community, and if we need to involve students, we have to involve all the most of our researchers that we have there. And they would like to participate. They need help, and this network must facilitate the access of our researchers to projects, and we must use PRIMA and the challenges and the objectives of PRIMA to go and tackle the problems. Now we have an agenda of problems to be tackled. We have a network, an internal network, we can have an external network, so most of the way is done, and we must gather our researchers for that purpose. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear professors and colleagues, my name is Kamal Waris. I'm working in the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Ghana University, Egypt, and I'm also working in OIE Reference Laboratory for Brucellosis in Germany. Today I will give you some information or hint about the brucellosis in Mediterranean countries. Many of you don't know what is brucellosis. Brucellosis is one of the most common zoonoses worldwide. It affects all domestic and wild animals. That is mean cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat, camel, equines, monkeys, red foxes, and even marine animals infected with brucellosis, and of course humans. I would like also to say that no hosts are resistant to brucellosis. That is mean we can find brucellosis in all living hosts all over the world. The disease in animal known as contagious abortion or bank disease, and in human it is known as Mediterranean fever or Malta fever, because the disease is known to be or origin from Mediterranean countries. Up to date, there are 12 accepted known species of brucellosis. Only 5 species proved to be a human pathogen. It is Brucella militensis, Abortus, C. wiscanis, and Brucella iniponata. The other, or the potential zoonosis other, it is unknown figure. But theoretically, I think all of them can infect a human. Brucellosis causes great economic losses in animals. It's caused abortion, stillbirths, metritis, mastitis, placental retardation, infertility, reduced milk production also. Unfortunately, there is no treatment in animals. If the animal proved to positive for brucellosis, we have to kill this animal, which means a lot of economic losses. The disease in humans is also complicated. More than 500,000 new cases infected with brucellosis all over the world every year. The disease in humans associated with abortion, bronchitis, renal failure, endocarditis, encephalitis, nervous manifestation, and also in the past it is used as a biological weapon, and the fear still exists to be used again. Brucellosis in humans is a complicated disease, and it is difficult for treatment. The positive case requires massive dose of antibiotic for more than 6 weeks. It is really very, very complicated disease in humans. The disease transmitted to human by direct contact or indirect contact with abortion or excreta or even infected animal. Either this contact is partial or complete contact. Drinking of unpasteurized milk is still the most risk factor for brucellosis. Unfortunately, there are bad habits by drinking of raw milk or milk production in developing country, either from the shops or in farm, or even directly from the cow. In one of our studies in 2014, we find that more than 10% of milk prepared for human consumption in Egypt contain DNA of Brucella militensis, the most dangerous species of brucellosis to human. And really, it is a big problem. From human to animal, it is not proved, but theoretically it happens. In some countries, they suckling animal, not only in poor country, but also in modern society. The contact between animal, either partial or complete, not proved, but theoretically it can happen. So, brucellosis in Mediterranean Pacific. We are 23 countries in Mediterranean region. 14 countries are European Mediterranean countries, and 5 African Mediterranean countries, and 4 Asian Mediterranean countries. All the 23 countries, I believe that it is look like one country because the borders are open between each country. And animals, human, insect, carrier hosts move freely between this country. And so that we have to look to the Mediterranean country as a one country, not as 23 countries. Brucellosis is known in the Mediterranean region from thousands of years in Egypt and in Italy. But in last century, Sir David Bruce recognized brucellosis for the first time in Malta. And from Malta, the disease centralized in the Mediterranean region and is believed to all the Mediterranean countries and also to all over the world. Nowadays, if we look to the world or to the Mediterranean region, this is not showing brucellosis in human. Unfortunately, there is no country in the Mediterranean region reported as a non-endemic. That is mean human case of brucellosis reported in all Mediterranean countries. Of course, the incidence of human reflects or work as a mirror for the incidence in animal also. For example, this map showing brucellosis in bovine, in buffalo, in cattle and buffalo. As a human, brucellosis is reported in all of the countries that contain buffalo and cattle. Brucella present elsewhere. If you look to this color, never reported. You will not find this color in the Mediterranean country. That is mean all the Mediterranean country reported cases for brucellosis in human and also in cattle and buffalo. The same situation in small ruminant. Small ruminant means sheep and goat. Also, all of Mediterranean countries also has a reported case for brucellosis. There is no country never reported. That is means the disease already present in all of the Mediterranean countries. Genotyping of Brucella isolate from Egypt last year, we found that the isolates from Egypt is linked to isolate from Italy, from Syria, from Spain. That is meaning Brucella circulate in the Mediterranean countries. Moreover, one study in Algeria reported that all Brucella isolates from 89 to 2012 linked to Eastern Mediterranean and Western Mediterranean islands due to socio-historical connection between Algeria and oil. In Croatia, they accused that brucellosis comes from neighboring countries like Bosnia and Herzegovina. In Algeria, they linked the brucellosis to Malta and Spain. In Tunisia, they linked brucellosis to Libya. In Germany, due to thousands of migrants came from Syria, they reported cases of migrants from Syria. I think we have to stop accusation each other. It is not time to say, yes, it has come from there or where. We have to work. I would like to show you a lesson from history. Unfortunately, there are some bad habits. We know it from thousands of years. For example, contact of animal without any biosafety measure, drinking of milk directly from animal, direct contact with animal. It is known from thousands and hundreds of years. This bad habit is still till today. 30 days there are many people drinking raw milk. 30 days there are many people directly contact with animal without any biosafety or biosecurity measure. I think nothing is changed. If you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got. Albert Einstein. But I think time of change is come. We have to work together. This is some data from officially reported data. Some countries like Bosnia and Herzegovina, like France, Italy, and Greece already started to eradicate brucellosis. They succeeded to decline the number of reported cases in human, and of course, the number or the incidence of human is related to animal. But individual work is useless. I believe if some country like Egypt or like Portugal say today, yes, we are free from brucellosis, 1 month, 1 year later, brucella will return back again. Because in Mediterranean country, there is no border. Many of animals can be transported by nomadic people in North African country, camels and sheep freely move, and also in Europe. If the domestic animal not move, the wild animal move between country to country. The carrier horses like rat, like mice, like birds, we cannot control that. There are some logical consequences from the empirical finding. Restriction of movement. Yes, some people do that, but it has to be paid. Trade restriction also is important. Trace back the oil is important. Cutting and also safe disposal of cartridge have to be done. Notification, reimbursement structure have to be fair and quick. But the most important thing, we have to work together. As I told you, individual work is useless. Exchange of knowledge and information is important. Multinational team is also necessary to fight not only brucellosis, but all zoonotic disease. We already started last year. We have now a project belonging to ARINET under the title Improvement of Epidemiological and Serological Tool for Diagnosis and Control of Brucellosis in Mediterranean region. We already started to work. This project funded by AP7 program belonging to ARINET 2. We are partners from 5 different countries, from Italy, from Greece, from Egypt, and from India, from Portugal, and also from Tunisia. We already started to work. We already started to eradicate brucellosis. The aim of this project to implement molecular epidemiology to improve indirect diagnosis of brucellosis. Because as you know, to control any disease, you have to start with diagnosis. And also we try to develop freely accessible website contain information about brucellosis in Mediterranean basin. The second aim of the project was to characterize the Brucella militensis, the most dangerous Brucella species in the Mediterranean region, to develop a new serological test and also to produce promising recombinant vaccine. At the end, I would like to say that fighting against brucellosis or any infectious or zoonotic disease is a multi-directional process. 3H are required: healthy animal, healthy human, and healthy environment. The concept of one health. Multinational cooperation and looking for the concept of one health is a solution to fighting all of zoonotic disease or infectious disease that affect the human and animal. At the end, I would like to thank the Ministry of Science, Technology and Higher Education for their invitation, and also I would like to thank INEVIA for the cooperation, and also I would like to thank you for your attention.
Everybody. Thank you very much for your presentation, very clear. And I think that I have only one comment to do is to show how relevant the
sell our best cheese, queijo Serra da Estrela, queijo de Serra, queijo de Beira Baixa, with brucellosis label under the idea, it will be very, very difficult. So I think the problem of, I don't know if it is possible to eradicate the disease, but at least work together. As you very well told, we are only one country, not 23 countries. We have no borders, while the animals have no borders. So I think that we must work together if we want to improve our exportation of our products, and if our cheese based on raw milk are one of our best products. At least we have no brucellosis in port wine, because if you it will be something like a nightmare for Portugal. So thank you for your presentation, and I don't know if there are questions, but
No, we'll move to the next presentation.
okay.
Thank you. Good morning. I am glad to be here and to participate to this event, and a special thank to the organizer for their kind invitation. The Center of Biotechnology of Borsideria is at 25 of the capital. And the main goal of this center is to develop plant biotechnology to solve issue related to agriculture and agro-industry field. In fact, 20 project is developed, and the special goal is to develop biotechnological tool to identify plant species adapted to the severe Tunisian soil condition, and to propose strategy to improve plant tolerance to this constraint, to exploiting plant and microorganisms as source of bioactive molecules, to valorization of microorganisms in the biological control against several phytopathological disease and the production of biofertilizer, and to develop approach to use plant microorganisms to rehabilitate marginal land. There are 6 laboratories in this center and a platform for technology transfer. Among them, the laboratory of aromatic and medicinal plant that I supervise. And in this laboratory, there are 4 projects. The first one on the development of innovative method of extraction, fractionation, and analysis of bioactive molecules. This project is supported by scientific and economic partners, and some recent paper in this topic. The second project on biological activity of this biomolecule at 3 levels, in vitro, in human cell, and in mouse. And this project also supported by partner. Some recent paper, for example, the first one on the neuroprotective effect of Frankinia species, and the second, the anti-cancer activity against leukemia. The third project on the optimization of medicinal and aromatic plant cultivation and in vitro production of bioactive molecule. And this project is supported by a partner. And the last project on the valorization of this medicinal and aromatic plant by formulation process for industry. So in the framework of, this is the last big project, Tunisian, Morocco, Japanese project, about 4 million euro, and this network is constituted by 5 Tunisian team, 3 Japanese team, and 3 Japanese and 3 Morocco team. So in the framework of Primacol, CBDC presented by our laboratory and the laboratory at Extremophile plant suggests this proposal: the utilization of Mediterranean medicinal and aromatic plant as variable source of generally recognized as safe product for agro-industry. Let me present you the problematic quickly. In the Mediterranean region, the cultivation of maples inside the current farming system represent a significant effort to the enhancement of agriculture, contributing to the development of rural area and producing a variety of safe products different from the traditional one. So MAP agro-industry, together with the development of a new MAP-related bioactive molecule, will open innovative perspective to their application in human health promotion, stimulating their demand and thus their cultivation and their economical value. In fact, in Mediterranean biotop, environmental factors are very severe, and plants are subjected to oxidative stress. This plant able to catch and to overcome toxic molecules are equipped with a powerful antioxidant system that include in the compound essential oil and other secondary metabolites. In addition to their antioxidant activity, this molecule exhibits a wide spectrum of biological activity. So, this molecule are necessary and requested in different industries, among them agro-food industry. So the overall aim of this proposal is the development of effective green strategy and technology for the recovery of high added value bioactive molecule from Mediterranean endemic palms as functional food and nutraceutical to prevent emergent disease related to human oxidative stress. The work will be divided into 6 work packages, and the first one on the eco-extraction, separation, and purification of biomolecules. There are several tasks. The second on the validation of the functionality of this plant and purified molecule by their evaluation of their biological activity like antioxidant, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, etc. The third work package is the optimization of this promising plant cultivation, made spontaneous species, and in vitro production of bioactive compounds. And the next task is the microencapsulation of the interesting biomolecule in order to improve their stability and to control their release. And so the management, which comprise all management activity, which are related to ensure the optimal interaction between our partner, fully transparent financial and an open communication. And at last, the dissemination of this result. You are welcome to visit Tunisian Beja, and special thing for you. And this the network of this proposal, and I hope Portugal team that join this proposal. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Greetings from the Agrarian School of Visio. You told us, I thought it was, you told us kind of work you make on your biotechnology center. You have many projects, it's very good. I would like to say that with GRASS, with your project that we were speaking in this moment, I think it's important to say that GRASS is an acronym that is safe, is generally recognized as safe. So the important is to know if this is safe or not. Because in law, we usually say that people are not guilty until we prove it. But in this in this field, it's the contrary. They are guilty until we have toxicological, genetic, and all the tests that we are going to do, and to prove that they are good and they can be used to health. In fact, bioactive compounds are very important for us, because in this moment we have three major important studies. They are safe, health, and also the nutraceutical things. So I think it's a very important study, and we, the Agrarian School of Visio, want to participate in this study if you need us. Okay? Thank you very much.
We still have a few minutes for discussion, so open to everyone, aberto a toda a gente que quiser fazer perguntas, se houver. Ninguém?
Once again, I hope some questions can arise. We are, so I speak after you. Yeah, please go.
Maybe some philosophy principle. We talk about cooperation, but we still maintain that we think that we have to be competitive, and this is contradictory. We talk about local production and food and healthy alimentation, and we talk about food industry, and you know that one of the best things to be well educated is to cook at home. There is many reports that show that if you cook at home, you will be with a better alimentation. And I think we have to focus towards the real philosophy of that.
Thank you. Some comments? Well, I would like to stress, before closing, that opportunity that the experimental stations and the research together between the network of polytechnics and the resources of the Ministry of Agriculture with their experience, their land. So the challenge we have is, can we do it? Will we be able to do it? I hope so. The Prima manager just told me when leaving
making Euronet